I see you, enemy. I see you, enemy. Enemy, enemy. You are my enemy. And I swear total resistance to you with everything I've got.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Alex Jones being nearly simultaneously banned from YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple. Apple took off like 5 of the 6 podcasts on their iTunes platform. YouTube has removed Infowars and Alex Jones. Paul Joseph Watson is still there, but no Alex Jones. He has pretty much been eliminated from all these services. Now, the question has to be why? Why has Alex Jones, out of all people in the world, because there's plenty of stuff on all these platforms that quite honestly should be banned. And I'm not even the kind of guy that's for censorship, but some of this stuff is really over the top. But for now, I digress. The reason why at least Facebook said that they removed him was because he violated the terms of hate speech, not because of any fake news, but because of hate speech. Now, the question has to be, what is hate speech? I don't really know. If you know what it is, let me know in the comments below. Because the issue with hate speech, and the reason why I asked, is who really knows how to define it? These social media companies are very, very, I don't want to say good. They're notorious for having extremely vague policies that can be interpreted any kind of way. Usually just to get things done that they want to get done, but not because it's a blanket thing that affects everyone. Okay. So people always ask me all the time, they say, are you in trouble? Are you going to be the next person? No, I don't think so. I think that they have a specific target that they wanted in Alex Jones, and they were able to get him. He had like 2.4 million subs on YouTube, a lot of views on Apple, on the iTunes platform, a lot of views on Facebook, a lot of followers on Facebook as well. And they took him out of the equation, and in my humble opinion, to set an example to other conservative people who kind of want to go outside of what the mainstream media deems as real news, so-called real news. And that's the next thing. There's been this whole controversy around Alex Jones talking about he peddles conspiracy theories. He is the biggest conspiracy theory peddler in the US of A, in the world, maybe on social media, on the internets. But my thing is, why aren't we talking about some of the so-called mainstream media in that same way? CNN has time and time again put out false stories. They also put out misleading stories, and they're always biased in their coverage. So why don't we look at a CNN and put the same label of fake news, provocateur, conspiracy theorist on them? Why not? And then there's all kind of people outside of Alex Jones that do much more salacious news topics on YouTube, on Facebook, on any other platform, iTunes, Spotify, or whatever. I didn't even know he was on Spotify, but that's a different story. He has not been banned from Twitter yet, but I would not be surprised if he was to be banned from Twitter within the next 24 to 48, because all the Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, Apple, that all happened within about 24 to 48. You know, first it was a few services that got him, and then I think YouTube came in at the end. Right. And YouTube has been having issues with Alex Jones for a long time now. Just recently, I want to say a month or two ago, they had given him 3 strikes and they took his stuff off, or at least partially blocked him back then. And then they said they made a mistake. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, because now he's been totally eliminated from the platform. What's changed from then where you made the mistake to remove him or to prevent him from being able to post new stuff or go live? What's changed from then to right now? Because like I said, that was like maybe about 2 months ago. What's changed from then to now? I don't know, but I digress. Furthermore, let's not beat around the bush. We all know what's going on here. This is a concerted attack against conservative ideas. The liberals, they have control of a lot of these platforms and a lot of these areas where the platforms are to have control of as well. So the people that get hired at these particular places sometimes become like, you know, vigilantes in a way, and they make it their personal goal to shut guys like Alex Jones down because of his political points of view. If he had the same way of talking the same so-called conspiracy theories about the right rather than the left, then he would still be there. Okay. I see all kind of stuff on YouTube. YouTube says, your thing may be demonetized if you're cursing and stuff like that, but yet there's all kind of channels made all kind of money with the person cussing constantly over and over again. That's not really an issue. It becomes an issue when the ideas that are put forward are the wrong ideas. I think on Facebook, they were talking about, he said negative things about immigrants and Muslims, something that would come straight from an Antifa person's mouth, right? DACA, no wall, that type of stuff, right? The whole anti-Trump rhetoric, for being pro-Trump, for being pro-conservative, for being pro-borders, for being pro-America, that puts you in the category of being a radical. It does not make any sense. I mean, where do we live right now? It's not like we live in an Islamic republic somewhere in the Middle East and being pro-American would be anti-you. We live in the US of A, where being pro-American is being pro your own country where you live right now, or we all live right now, as far as those who are coming against Alex Jones that live within the continental United States or abroad. So this whole thing about Alex Jones pushing hate speech and all this and that, it's bogus. It's all about just the conservative points of view. Alex Jones is not the first person to have run-ins with these big social media behemoths. You also have Candace Owens. She had got blocked temporarily from Twitter for posting some of the tweets that Sarah Jeong, remember her, the racist Asian woman that got hired by the New York Times. The New York Times vetted her social media and said she was all good to go. Meanwhile, once the average normie, the regular citizen would go to social media, they would see all types of stuff that was openly hateful towards whites. And then her excuse was, well, I was just echoing and reflecting what the racist people do on social media. I was just trying to hold a mirror up to them to show them how racist they are. But when Candace Owens does that exact same thing, rather than saying white in a tweet, she took the woman Sarah Jeong's tweets and replaced white with the word Jewish. That was enough to get her blocked for a while. It didn't last long. They were able to so-called fix it. I guess it was another mistake. But you see what's happening here. In my humble opinion, I think some of these mistakes are just warnings to let you know, hey, tighten up or we're going to get you off the platform, which is what it did to Alex Jones. All right. First, it was a mistake about getting banned from YouTube because of the strike. 2 months later, not even that long, maybe about a month later, he's gone off the platform because he didn't reel back in what he had been saying for years and years and years, which has built him this following, which has made him and YouTube and Facebook and Spotify and Apple lots and lots of money because of the revenue coming in. It's very simple, but I guess your political points of view, your feelings being hurt, that's more important than actually making money and actually being fair. I'll close with this. Private businesses, you have the right to do what you want to do. I can't get the government to step in and say, okay, make Facebook accept everyone, regardless of what the situation is. I can't do that because that's a slippery slope that can be used against me. They'll come to me and say, you must accept X, Y, and Z person to call into your live show. It doesn't matter if they want to do, a drag queen strip show on camera. You must let them there because you can't discriminate against LGBT. You must be open to everyone. I don't like that line of thinking, but at the same time, I would like for these companies to at least be transparent and honest. That'd be great. If I'm going to use your service, if I'm going to be subscribed to your service, if I'm going to pay money, I pay money for YouTube. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not just a content creator who creates revenue for YouTube. I also pay for not only YouTube Red, or they call it YouTube Premium, whatever now. I pay for that every month, and I also pay for YouTube TV. And I have some of the Google products aside from YouTube. So I put money in it, I put time in it, and I generate money for YouTube. Now, if you're going to have this anti-conservative stance, just let me know. Or just let me know if you made an example of Alex Jones to try and prove a point and scare us. But, that's kind of pie in the sky thinking. They're not going to come out and be transparent. Now, to their defense, a lot of this stuff is being pushed by the media and they have to respond. But I think they're responding poorly. All right. I saw this newsletter that came from Susan, and that's the CEO of YouTube. and some other people, I suppose, that was talking about, are we going to have more transparency? Because that was the biggest complaint from all the YouTubers. We're just like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what we're saying, if it's right or if it's wrong, if it falls within the policies. Because like I said earlier, the policy they have, their terms of service is vague, extremely vague. So you don't really know what the policy is until somebody violates it. And you don't know still then, because the violation really depends on who the person is. So you got to know a couple of things here. You got to know what kind of content you're making, and also what kind of content that you make will violate this particular thing. And it depends on who you are as well, your content that you're making, and what kind of political affiliation that you have. You can make inflammatory content. You can make divisive, derisive, false, salacious content if you toe the liberal political line. That's been made clear. And this is just one more thing that we have learned about these platforms over the past few years. All right. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, they don't really tell you anything. You got to just find out through trial and error. And unfortunately, through the trial and error of Alex Jones. Hopefully they bring Alex Jones back. Free Alex Jones. He didn't do anything wrong. He's an entertaining guy. If you're going to take Alex Jones off the air, then you got to take all these other media organizations who don't even really try to come with any comedic ability, who don't even try to have entertainment value. All they do is just make up stuff, or they're very dishonest in the way they present their stuff. So that was on my chest. I wanted to get it off. But what is your take on this? Do you think that Alex Jones was banned from YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple nearly all at once because it was a concerted effort? Do you think they wanted to make an example of Alex Jones so it would not be repeated in the future? That's my line of thinking, because if you're able to kill the head, maybe the body's dead. That's their thought process, but I could be wrong. Do you think that Alex Jones deserved it? Because YouTube said that this has been a repeated violation of their terms. But I know, maybe you do as well, but I know there are most certainly other people on the platform who should be violating the terms based upon their content. And it's much more egregious stuff than anything I've ever seen from Infowars. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Oh, God, they're so evil. Just please, God, free us from them. They're drunk on our children's blood, for God's sake.